All right. Hey guys, I wanted to come on and I wanted to just talk a little bit about cholesterol for a minute. Okay. So, you guys know that I follow a carnivore slash keto carnivore diet, and I've been doing it almost 10 years. And I wanted to just talk a little bit about cholesterol. And yes, I do have a background in science, but I'm going to tell you flat out that what I learned in science in college wasn't what I know now and what I've learned since then, because I have had to keep going, because what you learn in college is very limited. And if you don't have the strong desire to keep pursuing it, then you are going to have an extremely fragmented and extremely limited view of things. Okay, so I had the base. So I was a science major. I had a base, but then I have continued to pursue more of the physiology so that I had a much deeper understanding of the proper human diet. And it has completely flipped everything that I've learned in school on its head. Because at the time, I didn't know all of the right questions to ask. Even though I did ask some questions, it wasn't enough. And I hadn't had a fully developed frontal lobe yet. And I wasn't able to actually really have this broader perspective to really ask deeper questions. And I did get sidetracked by the whole vegan narrative for a while. Dumb, I know. I blame it on the fact that my frontal lobe wasn't developed yet, properly, fully developed yet. But now I have explored a lot more into the physiology. And the physiology is not debatable. And this is the thing. Yes, we constantly are discovering things and the view is getting expanded. But there's just certain things physiologically that they know. Okay, it's like these things are just, they're pretty solid. It doesn't mean it's the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying, okay? But there's certain things that they do know. Electron transport, Krebs cycle, like there's certain things that they know, okay? And when it comes to cholesterol, there's just certain things that they know. All right, so cholesterol is a vital substance that your body absolutely needs. Without it, you're dead. You're dead in a very short period of time. Okay, cholesterol is not bad. There's no such thing as good cholesterol and bad cholesterol as a comparison. No such thing. Okay, and what they're referring to actually are the carriers of the cholesterol. They're talking about LDL and HDL. LDL is a low density lipoprotein. Think of it as like a shell. It's like a car that carries the cholesterol and fat soluble nutrients like vitamin E and K2 and CoQ10, and okay, it's like the armored car that carries it to where it needs to be. And then the HDL is high density lipoprotein, okay? And its role is to actually go in after the LDL has deposited these healing substances to the cells. The cell uses what it needs, and the excess that it doesn't need, if there is anything there, okay, whatever it doesn't use, whatever it doesn't need, because a cell can only use so much stuff at one time, right? We know this, okay? That's where the HDL comes by, scoops it all up, cleans it all up, and brings it back. Everything to get recycled again, okay? So, no such thing as bad cholesterol, no such thing as good cholesterol, because what's bad about your body delivering a healing substance to a cell that is in need? What is bad about that? And even if your number is really, really high, what is bad about that? Your body is bringing healing substances to an area that needs it. And then the HDL is the cleanup crew. So how does that get labeled good and the LDL gets labeled bad? It's fucking shenanigans. It is fucking ridiculous. And this is the problem. They use language to manipulate people. Okay, they use language to manipulate people. They make up their own definitions, they make up their own narratives, and they make up their own stories to sell drugs. All right, to sell drugs. And what happens when you have damaged cells that are now being deprived of these healing substances because you have low LDL, you want to lower your cholesterol, you're screwed. You're basically screwed, okay? And the biggest issue is that they fail to tell you that LDL isn't just carrying around cholesterol. It's also carrying around these fat-soluble nutrients that are absolutely vital for your cells to operate, okay? Cholesterol is also a signaling substance. It actually is vital to signal certain hormones and different cellular functions in the body. It is absolutely vital. And this idea is that, oh, well, there's too much LDL. Really? Too much? According to who? Too much? Your body's not stupid. Okay, your body is absolutely not stupid. Why would your liver make all of these LDL cargo cars, cargo ships, to cart around cholesterol, fat-soluble nutrients to these cells if your body didn't need it, and waste all of that metabolic energy? Why would your body do such a wasteful, foolish thing? Do you think it's just on automatic pilot that the body just churns it out blindly? Like, this is really, like, this is crazy. Or simply because you eat a lot of cholesterol that your body is just going to go deposit that cholesterol into your artery wall because you just ate too much cholesterol? Like, I really, it's baffling that people actually think this way. It's baffling, okay? The body doesn't just shuttle cholesterol around, deposit it into the artery wall. That is not how it works. It is not how it works at all. Okay, there's all sorts of signaling happening. There has to be damage at the site. There has to be inflammation at the site. It is not just going and throwing the cholesterol in there. And then they say that the LDL just like floats around and it like bumps into your arterial wall and damages your arterial wall. No, not if the LDL is healthy and not damaged by oxidation and reactive oxygen species that are part of what they call dirty metabolism, which is glucose metabolism. Okay, creates a lot of these free radicals in your body, toxins, all sorts of things that our human body is really not designed for. It creates a lot of these free radicals, okay, that unfortunately will attack the LDL carrier and basically try to beat it up, all right? And then the nutrients on the inside, especially all the fat-soluble nutrients, okay, they are actually trying to heal this damage to that shell. So it's getting depleted. So if that cargo does eventually get to that cell, there's nothing in it, or there's very little things in it, and the car is damaged. Now, if you have a damaged car going into this damaged site where there aren't enough nutrients in there and things are all damaged and not working well, it can actually get trapped inside of that damage. It's because the body is seriously damaged because of massive inflammation and cellular toxicity and cellular damage. I've always had a big beef with people not telling the truth and people not saying what needs to be said. And I've always been criticized for over explaining things, and I just don't believe you can over explain things. I believe the average person is not able to pull things together for themselves. And I think when you're not getting a good explanation for something, it's really easy to make assumptions and it's easy to believe lies. Believe people who are lying. And the system is lying. They are lying. It is not physiologically correct what they're saying. Everything is cause and effect. Everything has to be in context, and you have to step out and you have to look at the bigger picture. So this whole good versus bad cholesterol is nonsense. The HDL, okay, high density lipoproteins, it's another car that comes around and cleans up whatever the cells cannot use from the LDL carrier. So an LDL carrier that's not damaged or destroyed, right, is bringing these nutrients to the area. The cell uses what it needs. The HDL comes, cleans up what it doesn't need. It's the cleanup crew, okay, and everything gets recycled. That's an integrated system, okay? They work together. Not bad, good. This is absolute insanity. And it's deliberate. It's deliberate. Because if you think the system doesn't know, they absolutely do know. Your brain needs a lot of cholesterol. They'd love nothing more for people to have not enough cholesterol. Okay, so this idea that high cholesterol is pathological, not in and of itself. If those carriers get seriously damaged because of all these free radicals and being in glucose metabolism, which you constantly have these insulin spikes, that sets you up for a whole bunch of problems, then yeah, those LDL might cause some problems. But it's because your body is damaged. It's not the LDL, okay? It's not inherently bad. And even if you have a lot of them floating through your arteries, tons of them, they're still not bad, okay? They're still not bad. They're doing their job. They're doing what your body has created them to do. Your body's not blindly doing this. Your body is doing it based on incredibly profound and complex signals throughout the body that tell the body what to do and when in order to keep you alive. So calling a fundamental system that keeps you alive bad is irresponsible. It is absolutely fucking irresponsible. And people wonder why I distrust doctors so much. I don't trust them at all. In an emergency situation, I would have to trust them because I wouldn't have any other option. But for day-to-day stuff, I don't trust them at all. At all. And it's a sad statement to make, but it's true. They lie about so many things because they are so uneducated and don't pursue the truth that they are repeating a lie. That's actually what I should say. They're repeating a lie. I think most doctors just don't have appropriate education, and they have forgotten a huge portion of what they've learned, and they just don't put it together. So I don't necessarily know that it is a malicious lie. I actually don't believe it's a malicious lie for most people, but they are repeating a lie. And I guess I need to make that clear. I've met a few doctors that I think are genuinely nice people, but they are stuck. They are stuck on the wheel of bullshit. And it's just really sad. Because I think if they were to expand their mind and connect with their internal light, I think that they would they would be very, very helpful in society. Instead, they become a tool for the system. And yeah, some of these people are really nice. They're really nice. But nice doesn't mean shit, unfortunately. And, you know, I've raised my kids knowing that. Nice doesn't mean shit. Integrity is everything. Integrity is everything. So I could go on and on and on and on, but I think I'm going to leave it at that because I'm already at 15 minutes and I don't want to start overwhelming people, but just know that there's no such thing as bad cholesterol. And LDL is not even cholesterol. It's the car that carries the cholesterol, okay? It also carries more than just cholesterol. So you're not being told the whole story, okay? They are healing substances that are being delivered to areas of the body that need these substances for a variety of reasons. Hormone regulation, cell signaling, healing, repair, just the cell being able to work properly, okay? You're not being told that, okay? This is what the LDL's job does. It's like bringing the most important substances to exactly where it needs to be at the time that it needs to be there. There's nothing bad about that, okay? And then the HDL comes by and cleans up what isn't used. It's an integrated system. LDL does not just float through your bloodstream, bump and damage your arterial walls, and just deposit the cholesterol. No, that is not how it works. Because if that were true, then you would see the plaque building up all through your body. But it only happens in very specific regions of the body that are prone to damage, high pressure, inflammation, okay? The body just doesn't willy-nilly go around and throw cholesterol all over the place. It's too precious of a resource to do that. It would never do that. Never. And I know that you're going to have people that have like genetic diseases and stuff where the body doesn't operate the way it should be. So you may have some, very rare outliers out there. But for the average person, your body is doing exactly what it needs to do under the conditions that it finds itself in. It's doing the best it can. So I just wanted to share that because I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Enough people aren't really giving you the real information that you need. People like to kind of float on the surface, which is probably why I annoy a lot of people. My videos are too long. They're too long for people. But I like to explain things so that it makes sense. Okay, we are apex predators. We are not herbivores. We are not even omnivores. Even though if you Google it, it'll say we're an omnivore. We are not true omnivores. We are apex predators. Not even debatable. It is scientifically not even debatable. The only reason it's debatable is because people are slinging shit. Okay, but when you get down to the biology and the physiology, we are apex predators. It's hardcore. And you can be like, I don't care. And that's fine. You can not care. And you can do whatever you want. People can eat whatever the hell they want. Okay? But if you want to eat in alignment with what your physiology and biology is designed for, then you want to be an apex predator. That's what you are. Or you want to eat like an apex predator because that is what you are. We have been manipulated to believe bullshit, all right? And it's not just the cholesterol issue. It's a lot of issues, all right? The system can't be trusted. It's sad, but it's true, all right? Signing out.